This is the #1 movement for freedom of the mind and heart. Let's start a conversation. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to another amazing week here on Stay Salty and Bright podcast, the Anna Jinga Show. Welcome. I am Anna Jinga. If you've never been here before, drop a comment below. Drop a hello here on the live as well. Because my darlings, if you're listening to the podcast right now, I'm actually recording it as I am doing a fabulous live. And I'm very happy for that because we get to expand this identity that I've been creating for myself, for the brand, for Salty and Bright, for everything. It's so fun. It's so exciting. And I love it. Life update. We have left Florida at the beginning of this week, Monday, the 30th. We finally got to pack everything back in the RV. We put a lot of things in the garbage, honestly. I put some donations out. I put some things in storage, but a lot of it was garbage and refresh. I feel like spring cleaning was summed up in that phrase, garbage and refresh. How often do we collect so much clutter? I can't even believe how much clutter I had in this small space of a 40-foot RV. And I still have so much to leave because we are putting the RV in storage all summer. We're not carrying it all the way back to Canada, which is going to be a very interesting and exciting trip to make because we usually just haul everything back, camp the RV in front of the house, and then, move things. But now I just get to live a lot of the things here. So what do I take back home? That's going to be the question of the week. And actually the question of the weekend, because we're getting quite close to wrapping up my stay here with my brother in Georgia as well. So, oh my gosh, time is flying by. Time is flying by, and the RV season is coming to a close for now. I do believe that there will be more RV seasoning, even more extensive RV seasoning moving forward. But God will lead the way, and we will see how that goes. So, my loves, I was telling these wonderful people on my live today that I have a very fun topic for today's podcast. And today's podcast is going to be a fun one for two reasons. One, I want to make it like a vlog. I've never done that in the past, so we're experiencing that for the very first time. And at the same time, I also want to kind of tap into the idea of what if you were my client? How would it feel and be like for you when you were my client? So let's do a vlog. Hello. This is a day in the life of Anna. But not a vlog, a video blog. But let's do a voice blog. Voice log time with Anna. I was driving this week. I think it was Tuesday. We did 2 days from Florida, South Florida, all the way to Georgia because hauling a giant heavy RV is an adventure. And our truck doesn't need to be stretched so much. So we were driving a little slower, still going like 65, 70, but not more than that, which is the legal way of driving if you didn't know. But as we were driving slow on the highway and I was driving the small truck that we're taking back to Canada with us, I realized a few things and I want to share them with you as part of our vlog today. First and foremost, as I was sharing earlier on the live, I do not work and I do not want to work with people, with women that are not ready to be curious about what it would look like for them to be a different version of them, to be the version of them that says yes more to themselves, that says no more to the world, that says yes to God's purpose and plan for themselves, that say, I want to experience more and have more fun and enjoy more of life and be at peace more and dictate my own life. I want to be able to have more fun, get more cats, whatever that version of you says to yourself. I don't want to work with women that say, one time they tell me, I want to work with you, and the other say, I'm renovating my house, I don't have time. You just said no to yourself. And not because I want you to work with me, far from it. I'm doing this, I'm doing my brand, I'm doing my work because I know the freedom that you experience when you say the yes to you and you say the no to the world and you step into that version of you that feels so free. I want you to experience that. That's why I'm doing it. I don't care for the money. Money is fun, but money comes in many ways for me. Not from this, not just from this. Let's say that. And the truth is, when you say no to working with me because of whatever excuse, I'm not ready, I don't have the money, I don't have the drive, I don't feel like I could do it right now, you're saying no to the future version of you who's waiting for you to finally show up. And that makes me sad. But I don't want to work with you when you're not saying yes to you. If you're not saying yes to you, you're going to waste our time, both you and mine. You're going to waste the money because you're going to think, oh, I just spent, I don't know, $3,000-$4,000 on so much time with Anna and I didn't feel anything. I don't want that money. That money has no good energy behind it. Talking about energy as someone that has been so frequently attuned, frequently. See? My brain is not braining. I did say that earlier this morning. Also, side note for those on the live right now, I never or rarely edit my podcast episodes from how they first go because I want you guys to experience when you're listening to the podcast how real it is to just hang out with me, to just listen to me as I am without the constant cutting and editing. I add the intro, I add the outro, I clean up the first, quiet moments of the beginning and the end, and that's about it. Unless, like my husband called me last week, and I had to literally chop off the conversation from the podcast from within. But other than that, I don't cut out anything from the podcast. It's full, filterless, present. No, that's it. That's what you get. Fully real me. Oh, I had a cat and she left. Okay. Getting back to the frequency of feeling the energy of things. I was born with the gift of feeling people's energy, of feeling energies in the space. People call it empathy. You're an empath. You feel a lot. You feel a lot. You also absorb a lot. So for the longest time for me, it was a nice challenge. Let's call it now nice challenge. It was horror and terror back then. But now looking back, it was a nice challenge where I got to learn how to understand people from their energetic field. I used to do, back when I was in New Age practices, I used to do a lot of Reiki and I'm still really good at it. I don't do it because I know that it opens up the frequency for demons. As you guys know, I'm a Christian by faith, born and raised Orthodox back in Romania. Really fun experience to see people possessed by demons, because if you know anything about Romania, we go very deep into religious practices. That's kind of one of the reasons why I pushed back, because there was a lot of doctrine and not so much God in some of the things that I was seeing. And it was actually meeting again a demon that brought me back to Christianity. So that was like a big story summed up into 20 seconds. Um, but I stopped doing Reiki because and this is something that I was saying back in my New Age practices as well, I've always believed that if you don't know what you're dealing with, you will be open and vulnerable to a lot of negative and chaotic energies taking advantage of you. And if you can't handle them, or if you don't have tools to handle them, they can eat you alive. Disclosure. My brain isn't braining. That's what I was telling people on the live today. My brain is very tired today. But it's the beauty of traveling and doing all of this that I get to do my business and my work and bring it with me. So, circling back to the fine-tuning frequency of being who I am, I truly believe that I don't want money that is backed by negative energy from people that say, oh, I paid you and you didn't deliver. I always deliver. I over deliver. I will bring you from your deepest, darkest corners of your lonesome self into your most expansive version of yourself. And I can do that in the blink of an eye, because I've done it for me. And I see all of your lies, all of your excuses, all of your weights that you're holding on, all of your filters, all of your beliefs, because God has created me with such a fine-tuned filter that I was afraid to use for the longest time. But now when I truly allowed myself to be me, that's who I am. I get to see right through you. I get to see through the drama. I get to see through the victimhood, through the embarrassment, through everything you're experiencing. And I get to show you more. Because every negative emotion you have has an equal and powerful positive emotion that you're not ready to feel, because maybe somewhere inside of you, you haven't accepted it as reality for yourself. And that's okay. That's why my clients come work with me, because when they do work with me, we get to do all of the work. We get to do all of the shedding. We get to do all of the pacing for all of that, for all of the negative, heavy emotions. We get to do it together. There's this, let me remember it. There's this line in a song from, the band is called I Needed It Dave, or I Needed This Dave. And we discovered it, my husband and I, on a road trip through Romania last September. It was so cool. But we were driving back from a really long day and we were tired, and we had our Spotify on Smart Shuffle. Do you know Smart Shuffle? When you press and the little star comes on and it shares with you in the playlist a few more extra songs that you don't yet have on the playlist, but they're really awesome and very similar to what the playlist is like. Yes, we had that. And there was this song called March On by I Needed This Dave that was launched like a couple of days before our trip. Literally the day when Charlie Kirk happened to go through all of that. That day was horrific for me, honestly, in so many versions and so many layers. But maybe I should do a live on that another time from a wife's perspective, not from being on the side of Erica Kirk. I don't care for choosing sides. I'm just going to, yes, I will do a live at one point talking about the experience I had watching all of that in real time as a wife of a husband who's strong-willed and a man of God. That was something else. Anyways, circling back to the topic for today, we were listening to that song and it was called March On. It was amazing. And we experienced this whole fire lit in us. Fast forward to a few months, the band launched another song that was called, I think, Bonfire. Ooh, sorry for moving everything around. Yes, it's called Bonfire because it's my my song that I put on when I go to the gym. and I crank it up and I put my headphones on and I go and I put the treadmill on a nice high incline and I push through that song, and it's really good. I invite you to try it. But there's a lyric in the song that says, "You reached into my darkness and showed me I'm alive." You reached into my darkness and showed me I'm alive. I am teary right now. Like my eyes are watery. I feel like because that's how it felt when Jesus Christ came and reached into my darkness and reminded me, Anna, you're alive. And it reminded me of a poem I once wrote that had only a few words, and it said, "For a moment there, I forgot I was still breathing." For a moment there, I forgot I was still breathing. For 15 years, I forgot I was still breathing. And then one day, I was reminded that I'm alive and that darkness can never overcome the light. So that's the moment when genuinely my heart just went, come back to life. Everything changed. Everything changed for me. That's why when you are my client, when you work genuinely with me, I don't let you sit in darkness because I think that's dumb. And I will tell you that's dumb to allow yourself to sit in a darkness that was never meant for you. You're never meant to sit in the darkness. You're meant to experience it, to know the power of the light. You're meant to experience the duality so you know how awesome it is to be free. You're meant to experience the heaviness so you can see how strong you are. But you're not meant to dwell there. You're not meant like that moment in the never-ending story with the horse that is being overcome by sadness. Can you imagine how heavy it is? And to lose your will? If I have anything to do with it, you'll never allow yourself to live in darkness. And I have a story for you guys. Yesterday was a very full circle moment for me, and it made me realize how freaking awesome it is what I get to do. Not just as a coach. Yeah, we work on identity. I can talk about what I do for hours, and it's really cool and it sounds really fancy. But it's just superficial compared to the actual work that happens on the calls and between the calls, and sitting there with clients in their chaos and heaviness, and when they build businesses from nothing into something. Yesterday was the reality of that something coming to life. So about a year and a half ago, I got a text message from one of my former clients saying, "Hey, have someone with whom I believe you need to work, just you with her." And I said, "Okay, I will do that." And we had a very beautiful conversation, probably 45-minute conversation on the phone. I shared with her my vision for her and why I knew we're going to have a lot of fun building all of that through God and growth, through faith and personal development intertwined. And she said yes. And we've been not just coach and client, but friends as well. And it's really freaking beautiful to see how we started from the idea of, Anna, I really want to buy this type of business and build it. And I asked her, would you want to just have it as one thing, or do you want to make it big? Because in the industry, there's nothing like this, and turn it into a franchise. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't even think it could go there. But yes, it can and it will. So we started building. There were many setbacks because life is lifing, and there are things outside of our control that couldn't be avoided. So fast forward to last November, finally the business was bought. It was massive. And now only 6 months later, when she put up the new sign, yesterday I was there. I'm very blessed to be able to travel through places where sometimes my clients are. It's either their homes or they're traveling to West Palm Beach for events or whatever. And I get to meet physically my clients and be like, oh my God, you're amazing. Even more awesome in real life. And as I was telling her how proud I am that, hello, this is it. It's happening. It's so, has such a feminine energy in the whole business, and everything is so well taken care of. And the expansion feels so natural that nothing can stop or get in the way. And as she was walking me to the car, she said, the sign went up yesterday. I was like, oh my God, so perfect. It was such a full circle moment to see the space of from a seed to an oak tree kind of experience. And I got to see the whole process growing into the reality that it is now. And I know the expansion will just go from there, but just seeing that, and I took some photos of her next to the sign, and it was perfect. It was better than we could ever imagine. It was so aligned and so, I hope you get to feel it with me, how extremely amazing it was to see that reality happen for my client, for her experiencing her biggest dream ever, and her being there and being like, oh yeah, I did all of this. We've grown all of this. And it it created so much grounded presence for me, because I realized I'm not just doing one person work one-to-one. I'm expanding it to so many lives that are changed. So many lives of the families that will benefit from that business are already impacted because she got to step into her strong identity there. And she created this whole space and brings her beautiful energy when she is fully embodying herself. And then everyone gets to experience the ripple of that blessing. Ah, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. Because 10 years ago, Anna said, I want to be a coach. 2016 was the year my son was born. And I said, after learning so much through psychology, I said, I don't want to be a therapist because I want to tell people what they're actually doing wrong. It will be from my perspective, but I can't do that as a therapist. Legally, I can't do that as a therapist. So I don't want to be a therapist. I don't want to give people pills, because a lot of the things that mental health is going through right now is not a solution to be solved by a pill, but a solution to be explored and experienced through personal change, through choice, through nutrition, through physical care, through therapy, through coaching, through how you see yourself. A lot of it is how you identify yourself as. And then a lot more is through faith. I can't become a therapist and tell people, go fast for 3 days and take, oh, I have another fun story for you guys. I just remembered. But I can't tell, as a therapist, I couldn't tell people to go pray and fast and detach from social media for 3 full days and just be you with yourself and God, and just let all of that feel and fuel you up, and then see what the truth is in your life. I couldn't. So I became a coach. And I was a coach back then, a wellness coach, and then a social media coach where I was teaching some of the clients I was working with as how to be more confident in front of the camera, how to be more in tune with building a brand online. I did coaching for that. And then I stepped away from that because I got invited to be a Tony Robbins coach for 3 years. And I got to do all of that, exploring being a results coach, a world-class results coach for Tony Robbins. Sir, that was beyond my wildest dreams to coach so many people from everywhere in the world. I had clients through that brand from French Polynesia, from Australia, from India, from South Africa, from the Netherlands, from UK, from Romania, a couple of them. Thank God I speak Romanian because they assigned me clients from there. I had clients from all over Canada, US, South America. I had clients from everywhere. And it was amazing. I think I have over 10,000 hours of coaching clients everywhere. Oh, and it's not to brag. It's actually not to brag. It's just for past Anna to know that we made it happen, that it happened, that the 10,000 hours that I wanted to experience actually came true even more than I ever believed would be available for me. But when I said I wanted to be a coach, I didn't realize how much of a blessing it would be to experience the joys that people have when they fully step into their true identity, when they fully step into who they really are, when they fully step into this new version of themselves that is free, is faith-filled, and is focused. And you're not dabbling and moving around so much, and you're truly just you with you and God and the vision that God has over your life. Now, I know not everyone is Christian here, and that's fine. But I will tell you this. Whatever you believe in, you can agree that there's a higher force that wants you to experience how good it can be for you. That's it. We can all agree on that. We can all agree on the fact that we were born with a lot of free will. We can all agree on the fact that it is our job and our mission to be truly living our lives to the fullest potential that we can have. And we also agree that when we allow our free will to be guided by high quality values, high quality standards for ourselves, not from a place of perfectionism, but from a place of allowing yourself to be excellent, to be amazing, to be free and happy. When you have those values, adding to those, creating the space where you also bring all of that goodness so you can impact others around you as well, that's the basic of Christianity. That's it. We can all agree that those are great guidelines for everyone's life. That's it. So when we're thinking of building and bringing more of that identity into our day-to-day life, I can tell you for a fact, I love doing that for my clients. Now, a little bit behind the scenes story of I did a 3-day fast this past week to get some clarity and answers for some things that I'm going through. Because I like to, and I did a social media fast. I literally took 3 days break from social media, and I prayed, talked to God, journaled a lot, did a lot of stretching and breath work, just rewiring my brain from the business of social media. I didn't create anything. I didn't do anything. I took a break, which was fantastic. Because when you ask to be shown the truth for a situation, you will start seeing the truth everywhere else. So a lot of truth came from that. Now, as a Christian, I did also some food fasting because it's really good to reset the body. The body gets reset, the mind gets reset, the spirit gets reset. That is my belief. I share this in a group, and this is something that I will tell you. This is a very beautiful free group that I'm part of. It's a lot of empowerment there. It's a lot of expansion there. It's a very beautiful community. And there's still, because it's a free group, there still will be people who will be triggered and you'll have nothing to do with it. I explored. I shared in the group about my experience of fasting from meat and from social media for 3 days to rewire my brain and get into the alignment of getting more truth, getting more clarity, finding a reset for my body, mind, and spirit. There was a lovely person there because I mentioned in one phrase out of a whole 20-paragraph caption, one phrase said, because I'm a Christian, I chose to do the Esther fast in my version, where I just fasted from meat and social media. That was like, hey, here's the backstory of why I got to experience the amazing things that I get to share with you. And there was one person that took just that one speck of information and made it her life mission to prove me wrong, that there are no real Christians, that she is a Christian as well, that there is no reality in doing a fast because Jesus Christ said that we shouldn't be fasting, that there is nothing good about fasting, and she wouldn't drop it for the longest time. So what I learned from that, because we get to experience truth in many forms and in many versions. What I learned from that is no matter how much you talk about something, there will always be people nitpicking at the smallest thing you say. Like right now on this live, there might be someone that says, what's that in the background? Can she have something better? Why did she put her sticker on the microphone? The microphone is bigger than her face. Why does she have her hair up? Why doesn't she have her hair down? Why didn't she put more makeup on? Why does she have so much makeup? Why is her thumb, probably you didn't see, but let's go with that, missing nail polish? It fell last night. I used gel nail polish and it literally fell last night, and I will refill it today. There will always be someone out there nitpicking at every little thing you do. Now, talking about free will that I said earlier, if you're allowing your free will to help you, you will also learn that you can tell people your side of the story and then leave them alone. If you're in a space like I went to the admin team mentioning, hey, just so you know, this is going on. This was not something I was excited to experience. I wasn't talking about preaching Christianity. I just gave a backstory of what I was doing so that I can share the beautiful experience that I had after, the truth that came from that, and how the mentor of this group and her story actually helped me get here. I don't want the drama. Would you like me to delete the post? Did I cross any lines? And the lady was so awesome. She told me, you didn't cross any lines. Usually people just will nitpick something and run with it like it's their life depends on it. And it has nothing to do with what you shared. I will delete the post just because it's going to turn into a bonfire, and we don't want that. We're trying to manage the conversations to be peaceful, but no, you're not wrong. That was it. What did I take from that? Two things. The free membership, the free group space will have a lot of noise, drama going on. The paid membership does not. You know why? When people invest even the smallest bit, $100, $20, $50, $1,000 a year, whatever. When they invest the smallest bit, they will have a different kind of approach in how they treat you. When people invest any little bit of their finances, not just their time, when they invest their finances, they will bring a different kind of set of values. So if you don't like the community you're in, you can change it. If it's a paid community, you can talk about it with the admins. But the story about this is there will be a lot of people out there nitpicking at everything you're doing. It will have nothing to do with you. Nothing. You will just be there. It's like that saying, you can be the ripest, most juiciest, perfect peach ever. And there will still be people that absolutely hate peaches. And they will pick on you every second of every day. And it would have nothing to do with you. I wanted to share with you guys my cat on the live because, hi, baby. Oh, come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. This is Lara. We're traveling with our cats. The other one is a very old 17-year-old black cat who's sleeping right now. Oh, you probably guys don't hear me because she is all over my microphone. But hi, Missy. Hi, Missy. Isn't she adorable? She's so fluffy. I bothered her from looking at the squirrels outside because Georgia has a lot of squirrels and a lot of very fun birds for her. So, yes. Now, my loves, as this is a very interesting podcast today, I want to wrap it up with this one thing. Allow yourself to be uncomfortable, to just show up. If you're a business owner, if you're working to change your careers, if you're going through some form of, hey, I want to change something in my life and I don't know where to start with the smallest thing. Let yourself enjoy more of life. It's Friday right now. For those on the live, watching this super live right now, I ask you this. What can you do today? Friday. Happy Friday. What can you do today that can bring you closer to that version of you that lives a very free and happy life? It can be, I'm taking the rest of the day off. It can be, I'm going out for a long lunch. It can be, I want to experience, I don't know. I want to go do my brows. I want to go do my nails. I want to go see my friend. What would that one thing be that will help you enjoy more of today and bring you closer to that version of you from, let's say, 10 years in the future? Just like I'm experiencing now, looking back, 2016, watching on the couch with my newborn son. I Am Not Your Guru, the Date with Destiny special from Tony Robbins on Netflix, was the first time I ever encountered Tony Robbins in my life. And I was watching I Am Not Your Guru, and I told my husband, I would love to work for him. And now, 10 years later, I've already worked for him, both as a coach and as a event crew and as production crew, both virtual and in person. And I'm building my own thing. Because if it taught me anything, is that the biggest lesson I've learned from working with Tony's team is that I can do it. And I can do anything. And I can help you as well. not because I'm really good at what I'm doing, because I've learned from the best, but because I've done it for me and it's stuck. I've done millions of things in the past. I've done everything you can possibly imagine except ayahuasca to heal my mind and my body. And until I did proper identity work as I am doing now with my clients, nothing stuck. So if you're going through that, come have a conversation with me. That's the beauty of it. It all starts with a choice. And for me, the choice was on that couch with a newborn baby going through a massive postpartum depression and so much weight loss and so much anxiety and depression and heaviness and darkness. And I said, I'm going to work with him. And I did. Little did I know that it would teach me to work for others the way that I've never done in my life before. So, my loves, homework for today, go do something fun on this fabulous Friday. Homework for the weekend, figure out that 10-year version of you in the future. What are her or his fabulous qualities, freedoms, dreams? Put them on paper, see what comes up. And then allow yourself to show up more and more as that every day. I love you so much. You're super fabulous. I am giving you each a lot of love. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for joining me on the live to experience a whole podcast recording with Anna. And until next time, my loves, remember you're awesome, you're powerful, you have everything you need inside of you. And remember to stay salty and bright. I love you so much. Bye now.